Hello and welcome. Today on the menu we have a game that a lot, and I do mean a lot, of people have played in the past. It's only a relatively groundbreaking addition to an already popular game. It's a sequel that, as much as a lot of people have been hoping for a third game, it's just unfortunately likely never going to come. Today, of course, I'm talking about Portal 2. I, for the first time, have beaten the co-op and the solo campaigns. Now, don't get me wrong. Alright, I've played the game a lot ever since it came out. It came out when I was still a kid, and we played it intermittently throughout the years, but I never actually sat down and played the whole thing. Mostly because I was a little bit slow. Alright, I was struggling. I really enjoyed it. I played it with my buddy Kane. Him and we sat down and we played through the whole fucking co-op campaign together across like 2 or 3 different nights. It was great. It was a great time. We had a lot of laughs, and we, really had to put our fucking brains together to figure out what we were going to do. And then the solo campaign, I played it, it took somewhere between like 4 to 6 hours, I would say. I didn't really pay attention. It's definitely like 3 times, maybe 2 times the length of the first game. Which makes sense, the first game did so well, so they got more budget and everything, and honestly, this game was just, it was so good. I love the first game, and it's going to have a special place in my heart now because I beat it before I've ever beaten the second one, but the second game I think is arguably a lot better. I really liked Wheatley. Wheatley was a great character from beginning to end. He started out, obviously, as a good guy and everything, and he was just kind of corny, funny, dorky even, and then after you swap him out for GLaDOS and he becomes the opponent, he's just so goddamn funny to listen to when he's sitting there commanding his troops, and he's just like, yes, solve the puzzle, scratch that itch for me and solve the puzzle. Oh, this is horrible, shit like that. So I don't know, I found Wheatley to be a great character, and he was definitely that nice balance, because GLaDOS in the first game was funny in the fact that she was just kind of rude, but Wheatley is funny in like the goofy best friend funny, you know what I mean? And then, speaking of GLaDOS, I really liked her character throughout this game as well. Bringing in the whole backstory about Carolyn without exactly spoon-feeding it to us, I would say. It was pretty obvious, but it wasn't like directly, oh my god. That voice that I'm hearing for the first time matches GLaDOS' voice. You are Carolyn, all that shit. No. Like, they still, they let it marinate for a while. Listening to fucking Daddy Simmons as Cave Johnson for a good chunk of the game was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that whole portion. I really enjoyed overall just, like, the general, most of the game taking place outside of the regular tests. Because, like, in the beginning of the game, I started flying through some of the first tests that you do, where GLaDOS is still the Overseer, because they weren't too bad. And I know in the beginning of the game they're not supposed to be bad, because they're just introductory for the most part. So, they're kind of just there to be, the beginning of the game, get people into the mechanics and everything if they haven't played the first game, or, maybe brush up on skills if it's been a while. But then you get to the part of the game where you spend most of the game almost like outside of the tests, I would say. I mean, you're technically doing older tests, but they're not really tests either. They're this experiment program that they were doing with like homeless people and shit. But it's super cool, playing around with the speed gel, the jump gel, the portal gel, and all that. I definitely got stuck. There's one test, I don't know if I have any clips for it that you'll see, but there's one test that I was doing that I got stuck on for like 30 minutes, where it only gives you like one white gel dispenser, and you have to get up on top of this tower to drop yourself down and launch yourself out of a platform onto another tower. And I got stuck on that one forever. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. My buddy knew what I was talking about as soon as I started describing it to him. I did beat the game without Googling anything. Alright, I know that's not exactly an accomplishment, but for me that is, because I was so tempted sometimes. Anyway, back to the story. GLaDOS was fun. When we picked her up again and she started coming around with us and commentating and whatnot, it was super interesting to see her just being kind of petty but not petty at that point. Because in the beginning of the game she was commentating like she did in the first one, but she was petty the whole time. She was like, yeah, this test was designed to be especially hard because, you killed me. I really enjoyed that version of GLaDOS. And then it was super interesting seeing her when we had her with us, and she was reacting to Wheatley, and she's like, I know that you killed me, but he's still the bigger evil here, because he's going to destroy all my tests and my facility. So, let's just be friends for now. You know, going through the rest of the game, and then the boss fight was a lot of fun at the end and everything. And honestly, the ending was really good too. You know, the whole space thing was cool, don't get me wrong, but the fact that GLaDOS, you know, regained control, and she just had the logic, the commonsensical logic to be like, hey, you've been a problem, like, since the beginning, okay? And really, you want to leave, and I want you out of here, so we're just going to make this simple, and you're going to go. But that's pretty much it. Now, admittedly, alright, as much as I like this ending, I thought it was super fun. Technically speaking, I feel like GLaDOS could have just killed you while, you know, Chell was knocked out, instead of just waiting for you to wake up to tell you that and then send you off. But it's okay. Also seeing, I don't know what their actual names are. I think it's like Atlas and something, but me and my buddy call them Peabody and Sherman. Seeing them at the end of the game was neat because that, you know, indicated towards what was coming in the co-op mode. And there was a part, if you didn't know, my buddy told me about it and I ended up seeing it. I think it's I don't remember what chamber it is. It's chamber number 15, I want to say, towards like the latter half of the game. If you watch a certain spot, you can see the tall, skinny robot running away, so that was kind of funny. Overall, it was a great experience. My buddy and I are planning to play some of the community labs, or whatever you want to call them, chambers, but I don't think I'm going to make any content on that. That's just, you know, letting you guys know that I'm going to keep playing. If you have anything you would like to say, please keep it to yourself, because I absolutely hate reading comments. I hope this video has been entirely unhelpful to you, and I hope you have a very bad day. Today on the menu we have a game that is, well, I mean, I guess this video might have been expected if you were, fuck. God damn it. That was so shit. Only, you know, a relatively groundbreaking, really? Fuck. Good lord, I got a shit. Jesus, alright.